Today we have 3 true horror stories that are going to freak you out, making you wish they weren't true. In our first story, I'm going to tell you about the chilling journey to the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado, a place steeped in eerie history and supernatural tales. Join us as we delve into the mysterious events that have made this grand hotel a legendary haunted destination. The Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado, has been around for more than 100 years. It was built as a fancy place for rich people to go to get away from it all in the mountains. But as the years went by, fewer and fewer people stayed at the big hotel, and by the 1970s, it was in bad shape. Famed author Stephen King stayed there one night around that time and got the idea for The Shining from it. The book and hit movie helped bring the Stanley back to its former glory. A lot of people now want to see the hotel that was the setting for one of the scariest horror movies ever. It shouldn't be a surprise that many visitors say strange things happen there, given its past. Henry Yao, who lives in Texas, made a last-minute trip in April 2016 to check it out after hearing about the ghosts. Yao ate dinner when he got there and then went for a walk around the Stanley to take pictures. He stopped at the stairs, waited for everyone to leave, and then took a picture without giving it any thought. Later that night, though, Yao said he felt really sick, had the shakes, and I thought, something is really wrong. His friend told him to go to the emergency room, but Yao refused. Yao was reading through the pictures he had taken on the way home when he came across what he called a really, really strange image of someone standing on the stairs, but no one had been there. The next day, he shared the picture on Instagram, jokingly saying that he thought he had caught a ghost. Everyone was amazed. Almost overnight, Yao was in the news because of his ghost picture, which got the attention of media outlets around the world and psychic experts who wanted to look at it.
Some experts say that there's 2 ghosts, and other people said that the reason I got sick is because the ghost was trying to materialize, taking energy out of me.
He explained. In the 1990s, the unsettling experience of Marty and his family with a seemingly innocent ventriloquist doll that turned out to be anything but ordinary. Prepare yourself for a tale that will make you question the safety of childhood toys. Marty was a fan of ventriloquist Edgar Bergen and his dummy friend Charlie McCarthy when she was a child in the 1990s. As her father looked through a small magic shop outside of Santa Rosa, California, he found a ventriloquist doll and chose to buy it for her birthday. The teller gave Marty's dad weird vibes and told him,
"You know when you put your hand inside the doll, he's going to come alive."
He laughed it off and gave the dummy to his daughter when he got home. She was so thrilled when her dad gave her the doll. Marty says,
"I was so happy when I got that doll. I was obsessed."
Soon, though, strange things started happening. The doll's head was made of hard plastic, so she says it wouldn't be possible for its face to move, but she says it would smile. Marty's family kept her precious doll hidden in a room most nights because they were afraid something bad would happen to it. The pitter-patter of steps in their living room woke her and her family up one night. They went to look because they thought it might be the dog or another family member. There was no one there. The doll, on the other hand, was sitting on the couch.
"We remember specifically we always put it away because I loved that doll so much that I took care of it,"
Marty explained. Other strange things started to happen. She and her dad were out of town, leaving her uncle alone in the house. The uncle says he heard Marty's dad calling his name from the living room, even though Marty's dad wasn't there when he went to look. The doll was sitting on the couch again when he got there, not anyone else.
All of our family was pretty much scared of the doll. People would hear their names being called, and at night we would hear walking. We chose to get rid of it because of this,"
Marty adds. Marty's parents wanted to burn the doll because they were religious and Mexican. They thought it might be evil. Marty said it wouldn't burn when they put it on the grill. The doll would not go up in flames at all whatsoever. Their knife cuts didn't work when they tried to cut it up. They finally threw it away. After the trash was picked up, Marty's dad went to get the bin. In it, the doll. In order to get rid of the dummy, they dug a hole in the garden and filled it with cement. Marty and her family have been away for a long time, but he says they still think about the doll and the chance that it finds one of us. Introducing Jack, a former paramedic turned storyteller who has seen more than his fair share of strange and unexplainable incidents. With one of the most mysterious experiences from his days on the job, he recounts a night in the mid-1990s where an ordinary emergency call in a small Texas town turned into a perplexing encounter that left him and his partner questioning reality. Robert was a paramedic in a small Texas town in the mid-1990s. He tells the story of a strange happening that he and his buddy saw while on call one night. When he got a call about a woman having chest pains, he and his partner got in the ambulance and drove to the address.
We took off code 3, which means using our emergency lights and sirens.
Robert says. Since they didn't have GPS at the time, they used maps and letter numbers to find the rural spot.
The address we were going to was a very rural one. So there was no streetlights, and it was a very dark night. So it was very difficult to read the mailboxes.
Robert says he turned off the sirens while they looked for the right entrance. After thinking they had found it, they pulled in only to find out they were wrong.
So we turned off the emergency lights as we backed up to the road and went up the correct driveway.
He says. When the paramedics got to the scene, they remembered going to the same house a month before to help a man who was having a cardiac arrest.
In typical medical black humor fashion, we mentioned to each other that this was probably the wife who was now having a heart attack and was now going to go join her husband.
With their bags in tow, they jumped out of the ambulance and started helping the woman, who was lucky enough to be okay. Robert says that he told his partner to get the bed from the ambulance so that they could take her to the hospital to be checked out. When he came back, he had this strange questioning look on his face. As they rolled the patient out to the emergency car, Robert noticed that almost every light it had on was on. Strobe lights, floodlights, some interior lights, everything on. Once they got to the hospital, Robert asked his buddy why he had turned on all the lights. He didn't. They had turned them all off after going to the wrong house, he told Robert.
Neither of us remembers turning on the emergency lights, strobes, or floodlights when we got to the house. We were already there, so there was no reason to go back. In the end, we wrote it off as her dead husband letting her know that he was still there.
Thank you for joining me on this spine-tingling journey through some of the most chilling and mysterious stories I've come across. From the haunted halls of the Stanley Hotel, the unsettling presence of a ventriloquist doll, to the eerie encounter of paramedics in a small Texas town. These tales remind us that the world is full of unexplained phenomena and supernatural wonders. If you enjoyed these stories, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thrilling content. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. And if you have any paranormal experiences of your own, feel free to share them in the comments below. Who knows, your story might just be featured in our next episode. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and remember, sometimes the scariest things are the ones we can't see.